yesterday. Yesterday we had a bit of wind in the morning, decided not to go, did a bit of homework, sorted out lures and stuff, got everything sorted out, and yeah, back this morning, come out onto the 650 onto the line we got the fish on day before yesterday. Just want to show you how these fish stay on a line. These fish don't run around all over the show. These fish are right on a break, on a line where the food is. They run. You can put a line through your strikes from the day before, and we came onto the same line just further south, and absolutely on line. We've just had a stripey up now, didn't hook up. Just want to show you on the plotter. Okay, so there's the mark there. We just did the fish now. You can see there's one of the marks from yesterday, there's one previously, and the other one there, and you can put a straight line through them. Those fish are exactly on the line. A straight edge down where we've caught those fish, and you can see it's an absolute straight line to the top. These fish don't swim around willy-nilly. These fish are on lines. They don't run around all over the place. They feed on the line, and that's why your thermocline and your current edges are so important. Now, when we went out this morning, I was saying that the chances today are that this current's going to push in onto the whole areas, onto the thermocline. That's the 500, and you can see now there's a mark, a big mark there. We just had a fish up now, and you can see the thermocline dropping as we've gone out. So I'm going to turn back now, and you'll see the apex of the thermocline come up. We've got quite a bit of action. We've had a dorado up here and another strike on a marlin. So yeah, as this water starts to push in properly, then this fish is going to go back to the old areas. The water was 24.5 on the 500 this morning. It's now 26, so it's pushing in very nicely. You can see that thermocline dropping away, and now as we turn to go in, it's going to come back up again. And you can see those old marks. We had that marlin right on that old mark, which is right on the edge of the thermocline to the 500. So yeah, this is all starting to set up properly now. It's starting to move into the area where it's supposed to be. And it's always difficult when the conditions aren't right. Like the current hasn't been inshore, it's been on the outside, and it's been messed around by the southwest. But now with this northeasterlies having pushed for a couple of days now, the whole system's starting to set up again and go back to where it's supposed to be on the inside. Hopefully in the next week or so we'll be fishing on our normal marks, which are, I'm just going to show you there, which are our marks on the 350, and we'll probably get fish on the 500 first, and then it'll go to the 350. And those fish are all on the apex of the thermocline because that's where the plankton is. And I was explaining to the guys here today about the marlin, what you can call it, a marlin bird. It's a white chin or a sooty petrel. And the blackbirds that fly on the line because they feed at night on the plankton. And wherever you see them flying, it's a good indicator. Even if there's a lot of wind blowing and you can't see the plankton line, you can see the birds flying on the line, and it gives you a very good indication of where the fish are going to be, because wherever the plankton is, your bait's going to be, and it's always a good area to stick in. What's happening at the moment is this whole system is starting to shift back inshore because this current's coming down, and those lines will all move shallower and shallower until we're into the 200, 350, and all the birds will move in with it as well. So it's very important to watch those things. Go into a fish here. Freaking hell. Okay, who's on the chair there? Yes, what a freaking day. Yes. We freaking dropped freaking 2 fish. Looks like he came back a good couple of times. We're coming in. It's the end of the day. We had a tough day dropping fish on the 500. Right there on those marks, to actually bang on that mark. Nice little stripey. Okay, give me, okay, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Hang on, hou hom net. Hou hom net. Yes, hy's vas. Ja. Daar's dit nou. Okay, watch it. Ek wil hom verby jou bring. Okay, daar's dit. Okay, there we go. Just stand there. Okay guys, lift it up to the bed and stand out there. Kijk net hier zo. Yes! What a fish! Yeah! Kijk net nou boys! Those were most of the strikes have happened. That was mostly our first and our second day. Third day we didn't get anything. Decided to do an afternoon run. We left at 12 o'clock. I wiped the slate clean, and you can see where we've been working on this Thermocline. We dropped the fish there, and I marked one over there. Come on, dropped one there and marked one there. So as I said, this is all going to come back onto the line, and we've got a lot of flying fish here, and you can see the bait under the Thermocline here. So things are looking really good. Hopefully tomorrow, which is going to be a nice day, we can really work the area. Ons hier die hand hierso, ons hier die hand daarso, letterlik met ons hier die hand hierbo en so, en dan nou kontrol jy net. Daar sy. Dis 'n groter rare hierdie. The fourth day we went hunting. I mean, you can see where the fish is. We've now went to 750 and fish came back at the boat. Chaos. Jeez, came back at the boat about 10 times. Okay, just trying to flying now. Jesus, what chaos. I was trying to video the fish, but the blue about 350. Yeah, did we work for this fish? Holy shit, we worked for this fish. Oh my gosh. We came in there onto the apex and bang on the apex. A big rip running there. And yeah, you could just see we're apexing here. Anyway, I've got to get back. Yeah, jeez, what a long day, man. On prime time, 4:22. Our tide is 4:30. Freaking fish was berserk. Came at the boat, freaking all over the show, rounded a loop, when the wave came back at the boat again. I was trying to get it in the frame, but it was freaking absolute chaos. We had a stripey up at about 2 o'clock. Didn't hook up out on the 750 odd. And coming home now, I thought, no, let me go back through the area and check our old zones. And yeah, came tight. Water's not brilliant here, it's a bit grey, but compared to what we saw up at Jolly Rubino, we were up 50 miles up at Jolly Rubino and up to Mapelan. Water is blue up there, brilliant with flying fish. But yeah. I don't know how he didn't pick up another line. Yeah, it's very difficult to freaking film here when you trying to drive the boat as well. I'm just talking to the camera. Yeah.
That was exciting, my man.
Yes. Well, I had so much to do there. I wasn't watching much. I wasn't watching much of it. Yes. Kamora, kom. Pizza ding. Larry's pretty cooked here. Now I've been on this fish for about half an hour. Larry's pretty buggered. Took a lot of line. Probably about 40 meters out. Right in this rip on the main the main area. It's the first time this rip's worked since we've been here. And when this whole rip over here, you can see the waves breaking now. When this sets up here, oh boy, might be in for a little run. I don't know, I hope so, man. It's been so poor. We've been all over the place looking for fish. Water's been changing every day. Fish has been on one depth, then another depth. It's been super difficult to find where the fish are in a day. And he's still swimming, that's the good thing. He's taking line still. It's tail wrapped, I thought so, D. Freaking tail wrap, but it still looks like he's alive, D. He's still moving, if you can get it out. Okay, now just pull him towards the boat there, unwrap him and we can try and get him out. Hang on, D, I just want to turn the boat to the right, just wait. Just wind the slack, Laurie. Oh. You're joking. What? Morning everybody. I'm going to try and walk you through what's happened the past couple of days and how the fishing worked out and how we try to work out where the water was and all those things with the thermocline, etc. And I'm going to walk you through the plotter on the boat. I'm just standing on the balcony. You can see we've got the flags from the blue from yesterday, and yeah, I'll just try and walk you guys through how the thermocline set up, what the water did over the 4 days. We had fish up on the first day, fish up on the second day, had a day with the kids on the third day. It was the only day we didn't get a fish, and yeah, nobody in the area got a fish that day. The only guys that got fish were guys that went far north past Mapelon, which is where we went yesterday. And yeah, I'm just going to walk you through how the day sort of panned and worked out. So I'm going to get up on the boat and go through the plotter and show you how it worked out. Yeah, I don't know, it's so difficult to explain how difficult it is to actually do a production like this when you're trying to run the boat and clear lines, keep the boat going in the right direction, watch what the fish is doing behind, and then try and take some video footage. Yesterday I just pushed the button, thought I'd engaged it again, and took some footage of this fish going absolutely ballistic, and I had the fish in the shot a few times. It was crazy, going absolutely nuts, almost came into the boat. But it's so chaotic, you just cannot do everything at the same time. And yeah, unfortunately I missed the go button on the record, and yeah, I missed the whole damn thing. Well, I thought I was videoing it and missed it. Anyway, yeah, unfortunately the first day we were out here, the water's been a problem this trip, as we had when we were up here previously. You know, I saw the northeasters coming, and we had 3-4 days, so I came down hoping that this current would have pushed all the way in. It has pushed down, and it continues to push down as of yesterday. And the problem though is that this water is outside of our areas. In other words, it's not on our thermocline areas, on our 500, 350, 200. The water's been way out over the deep, so in the mornings have been a problem. Unfortunately I've deleted the track on the first day. I should actually have videoed it then, but you can see that we ran out basically, you know, doing straight runs out, or a little bit further, a little bit north. Interestingly enough, there's been a lot of bait in this 240 to 480 area, but there's no fish there. The water's off color, and that's what we've had this whole trip. So obviously we found out that the fish has been on the 650 line, and you'll see that with the marks. That's just going out, working up one day, just trying to find something, and then working out, and then working up on the 600 line. I've gone into our good areas, because this is our main area that we fish on the 350, and so I'll go in and have a look, and then I'll come back out again. And it's very difficult when you're working on your own. You don't have anybody to talk to on the radio, but you can see where these crayfish are, which is I'm using now. I changed my waypoint symbols
every season, so because every season is different. So you can see there's one, 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 and they're all in a straight line. They're slightly pointed in towards the land, and the reason for that is because your shelf goes out, and just the way the current was running. So your current edge was on that line. There is a very, very light thermocline on the 650, but what we found on this line is bait speckling at about 50-60 meters, and that's basically what I've been trying to work on. So every time I'd work, hit the bait, turn, come back onto the bait, go through it, come back on. So you can see the zigzag pattern I've been running on the bait line. You can see there's a pretty straight line, depending on how much confidence you have of what's happening on that line. The problem that we've had is that the water has been outside of the area, and coming back yesterday, which is our last day, you can see that's where we worked. That's where we got the fish coming back. I'd gone all the way up to my pell line. You can see where we'd worked. I was running. That was the line coming back. That's where we dropped a stripey. That's on the 780. You know, the water up north here was incredible. You can see me working and searching, looking for something. And then I spoke to the guys at Sedwana, and they told me that their fish was on the 580 and that they had green water on the inside. So I started to work that 580 line. Didn't get anything, remembering also that the high tide was at 4:30, and you know, the entire morning we got absolutely nothing. Didn't matter where we worked. Anyway, you can see coming back, I turned. We had quite a strong southwest, so it was rough. So I was going to use the current to get us back. We came down, we dropped the stripe on the 750 odd, and I started working that line. Not that there was anything. There was a bit of a rough area there, and there was a little bit of bait speckling, but barely anything. So I was sort of using that, working that line, and we got 1 or 2 strikes on Dorado, and there was a Dorado on that same line. So it tells you there's something happening there. But generally we wouldn't work that line because there's nothing really out there. So you're scratching, and the reason why you're getting those bait speckling is because you've got a current line, because this water was pushing in. So that's a temporary current line, or a temporary line that you could work when you've got conditions like this where it's not favorable and the water's outside of the area. But what the water has done, it was absolutely purple up here. We had almost 27 degrees here, and you see me working down. And then I was coming in, we basically headed for home basically. So I've come in and I've worked at the 550, 580 line a little bit. And then I swung to go in because it was the end of the day, and I swung in to go back to our marks. And this water has gone absolutely blue. It was 26.6, I think, if I remember correctly. And you can see that's where we got the blue yesterday. That's coming back onto a line. And that's telling you that this entire current system is starting to, the water's moving back onto the area. And I'm really hoping, we've got a west blowing today, that it doesn't disturb the system, because the current had slowed down yesterday quite a bit. We only had about 1.5 knots yesterday, as opposed to the 3-4 knots we had in the first days. Sorry, once this whole system moves onto the shelf, this fish will stabilize in the areas that we normally fish. You can see the line where we came in yesterday, and I think we still had 26.1 degrees inside the shelf yesterday, which shows that this water is pushed right in. I'm just hoping that this westerly of today is not going to disturb this, because it's just starting to fall into place. And it's been super difficult to film this and set it up, because the conditions just haven't been what they should have been, you know. And you can plan as much as you like, you know, to show something, but unless the systems and your water and everything is correct, it's very difficult to do it. But I think there's enough material here to show you, you know, how these things work and why the thermocline is so important. And why your echo is so important, for sure, because looking at bait, and hopefully I've got some video of the bits and pieces of the bait that we've seen. But it's been a super difficult period. It's early season, or, you know, the season where things are changing, and the winds, we've had like 2 days east, 2 days west, 2 days east, which is not ideal. The guys up in Sedwana struggled the last couple of days as well. Their water's gone green on the inside, and the guys have had to work out onto the deep. So you've got to adapt every day, and every day is a new challenge. And especially when you work, I mean, we work pretty much on our own here, so you don't really have any information. I think now with the December and the guys starting to come up, and on the holidays we'll get a few more guys out there, so you can have a chat with guys on the radio and see what they're seeing and so on. But to try and cover a huge area and find what's going on in one day, especially when you're just starting off like our first day out, it's almost impossible. You've just got to try and work it out, put the puzzle together. Yeah, so just to give you an understanding of what happened, this is the 4th of December. This is prior to me flying up, and I was just spoke to Dee and saw this current system starting to push in. You can see it going down the coast here. And you can see the system pushing in. This was on the 9th of December. This is the day that I flew up. And obviously this whole system was starting to set in. And that's why, as we went through the first day, I think we fished the 10th was the first day, then we skipped a day, and then the 11th was the second day. And that's when the southwest started to blow again. I think we had 3 days in a row of southwest from the 11th through to about the 14th or 15th. And you can see what happened to the system with that southwest blowing. We actually fished those days. So that was what happened after about 2 or 3 days. Yeah, that's the 13th. So you can see the southwest already starting to push this current back up again and causing chaos. And that's why we started to run north up to Mapelon, so trying to find good water. One of the two of the boats that went up there earlier on in the sessions got fish. And you can see what happened. That was St. Lucia. I mean, we were looking for that water up there. And then, and then as the days went by, the west kept on blowing, and it produced what we have here. That's St. Lucia. I mean, this water has actually been, that's Sedwana up there. So it pushed the water up north and out. So basically we were left with this mess down the bottom here, and which is why we ended up working on the 650. You can see working in this sort of scattered, sort of mottled water, broken up, and that's also why our watercolor never ever got to what it was. This is your good watercolor up here. That'll be your purple water. And yeah, it was super difficult, but it gives you an idea of why we ended up fishing the way we did during this period. Okay, this is the 19th. We actually fished past that. I fished up until the 24th, and this just never ever recovered. And to this day, it hasn't recovered. We're sitting on the 30th. It still hasn't come down because of all the southwest. Not that we've had a big southwest, but just enough to stop the system and push this current back. In the next video, we end up fishing north and deeper, and we end up catching some good fish. We finish off with 8 billfish in the 11 days we fished, and with 5 different species. So be sure to subscribe and join us for the last part of the adventure up in Richards Bay, and we'll see you later.